Hello, welcome to a project tutorial. Today we're going to make a waterfall mini. However, we're going to make it slightly different than I made my last one. So I don't have a finished one, so I can't show it to you, but if you want to see what it looks like, just fast forward to the end, and then if you like it, come back and watch the tutorial and I will share it with you right now. So to start off, you're going to need some chipboard, some pattern paper, and then to make my waterfalls this time, I am going to use some photo flip pockets. These ones are made by Snap, and they also come in other sizes. They make other, I'm using these are 3x4. I'm using the 3x4 size. They also come in 4x6, 4x4, and a 3x4 package. So I have those, and then also have some from Project Life from Becky Higgins. I purchased these a while back when they were clearanced from, I think that's Joann's or maybe Michael's. I can't remember which, but these are also 3x4, and the really cool thing about them is that they already have adhesive along the top, so all we have to do is put them together. And so this is going to make a really cool little flip book which will hold 3x4 photos. Okay? If you don't have these, then you can easily make a waterfall flip with just using cardstock. And I think I have a project with them on my channel in an earlier video, or you can watch my sister Scrapper. She makes a really cool one. This one is inspired by that one, and I've made a bunch of hers as well. So we're going to go ahead and make one with these and see how it turns out. Okay, so to get started, you need to cut some chipboard. This is for your cover. My chipboard is sized to 6.5 by 3 3/4, and that allows for 4 of these pockets. Okay, if you want to use more pockets, all you have to do, how I got my measurement is I just lined up as many pockets as I wanted to use, and then I measured them, and then I added a little bit of extra so that I didn't have them, so I had space around them. Okay, so mine is going to be 6.5 by 3 3/4, and then my spine is 3/4 by 6.5. Okay, pretty easy so far. I think you'll see that this is a pretty easy album, and it would make a very, very nice gift. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and put my adhesive on all of the pieces. And again, in case you missed it, these are 6.5 by 3 3/4. And that's going to allow for 4 of my pockets. Okay, I'm going to take my pattern paper that I want to be on my cover, and I'm going to flip it over. You'll notice that there's a different pattern here. I don't want this one. I want this to be my cover. So I'm going to lay that one down, and then I'm going to take one of my bigger pieces, one of my covers, and just kind of lay it down where I think it's straight. And then I like to take a ruler, and I stick my ruler on the bottom. Well, this one isn't going to work. This ruler. Okay. Then I'm going to take, I just use this to have a place to rest my bottoms on so that I can make sure that they end up nice and straight. And you'll notice that I put a nice gap in between the two. That will help to keep it from getting, from cracking, and to allow it to fold nice and easy. I'm going to turn it over. I realize that the coloring is a little bit off on this. That's because I'm filming at night. So I'm using my overhead light. So I'm sorry that you can't see the real color of this paper. But also, this is a very old paper collection that I have. I believe this is Basic Gray. Yeah, this is from a paper collection that I got at Hobby Lobby that's called The Best of Basic Gray. Alright, so then I just went ahead and I trimmed up my edges there. And then, just for fun, I'm going to go ahead and use this to trim my corners. There we go. Pretty easy there. And then I'm just going to fold over my edges, trying my best to make sure that I have a nice tight seal there. A nice professional wrap so it looks nice and well done, because I'm going to sell this in my craft fair. Alright, then I'm going to take my adhesive, run some adhesive along the edge of the chipboard and along the edge of the paper. There are many, many different ways to cover a book. This is just how I do it. I also then like to do top to bottom. And then I'm just going to push in my corners here. Okay. Then after those ones are in, I'm going to go ahead, push these up, and same on this side. Okay, and then I like to go around all of the edges and just run my bone folder along the edge so that I have a nice squared off edge. And then I'm gonna just gently fold those, just like that. Okay? Now is the part where if you wanted to, this would be a really good place to put some form of closure, depending on how you would like to close your book. I think for me, I'm not going to put a closure. A ribbon would be nice here. You could tie it, a book post, and then an elastic around would be nice too. I think for this one, if I need to close it after I get it all together, I'm going to use a ribbon and tie it on the front because I don't want to put too much decoration on the front. So a nice bow will add to the decoration. Okay? So then I'm going to take my inside piece of paper, and I'm not going to measure because sometimes I'm a little lazy and I don't like to measure. I'm just going to make a pencil mark on the opposite side at where I want to cut them. Okay. Alrighty then. Now we have our inside here. So this is going to fit on here just like so. Okay. I like to run my adhesive along all of the edges of the chipboard to ensure that it sticks to the chipboard, and then I turn my paper over and I run along the edge of the paper. And then just for fun, I'm going to put an X right in the center as well. Okay, then I'm just going to line this up. Again, if you want to hide your closure, it would be good to do that before you put this on. Okay. Then once you have it on, just ensure that you have a nice stick all the way around. Okay. There we go. Now you have a great little book. Okay, next step, super easy, super simple. You take out your pockets, and I'm going to have 4 on each side. And what you want to do is start with your bottom one with these guys. Normally you would start with your top one, but because the adhesive is on there, you want to start with the bottom one. Right now I'm just lining them up to kind of make sure that if I start where I wanted to start, then it's kind of centered. So kind of about there is where I'm going to start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make a teeny tiny little mark so I know where to line that up. Okay, then I'm going to take off my adhesive and find that little mark, and I'm going to try to make sure that I have about the same, so that it's centered, I have about the same amount of paper around all the edges. Okay, so then now you can see we have a really cool little flip album, or a little flip up page. And then we're going to turn it into a waterfall type. All I'm going to do here is line this up. What you want to do is line it up with your one that you currently have down there, so you have a nice straight line, and then press it on there. Press it on really well. I like to use my bone folder. And now we have 2 pages on. Next one. It's so nice that the adhesive is already on there. Okay, and then last one just goes right on top there, and stick it down, and there we go. Now we have a waterfall, a page protected waterfall, and you can put a photo on each side of this paper. Okay, I may have made the spine a little bit too big for this type of book. I probably could have gone with a 1/2 inch, but it's alright. Okay, then for the other side, I want to have a waterfall on the other side as well. So all I'm going to do is the same thing that I did on the other one, except for this side, I can just kind of start I can kind of eyeball it so that it ends right where it ended on the other page. Okay. This one. There we go. Okay. And then here. Make sure that it's really stuck down. And then, lastly, this one here. Kind of right there. And there we go. And now we have a little bit of a different type of waterfall album. Okay. So then we can toss all these. And there we go. And it looks like I will need a little bit of a ribbon to close it. And like I said, maybe you could cut your spine down by a 1/4 of an inch. Make it a 1/2 an inch if you wanted to instead of the 3/4. But you also have to keep in mind that once you put your cards into it, let's see. Let's go ahead and just throw some cards in real quick and see what that does to the thickness. I'm going to put 2 cards in each one. And we'll see if this adds enough to keep it at 3/4. Okay, because it does add some thickness to it, that's for sure. Also, another thing that you may want to do, not necessary, I don't mind it like this, but it may bother you. You may want to cover up the seams where we attached the papers. So like right here, you could put a strip of your pattern paper. Okay, so even with them double full, you could still go with a 1/2 an inch and it would be just fine. Maybe for my next one, I will create it at 1/2 an inch instead. But I think this is okay too. It makes for a great little waterfall type album. And then, like I said, you can make it longer too. Alright. Anyways, there's your waterfall mini album. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you make one. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. Or give me an email. I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. Alright. Bye-bye now.